In a continuation of my series on the beautiful Plato's Republic, I wanted to just read a verse on page 230. And Plato's Republic, it's the dialogue of Socrates with other men. And Socrates says here, "Yet no mention has been made of the greatest prizes and rewards which await virtue. What are there? Any greater still? If there are, they must be of an inconceivable greatness." Because they've already talked about all these great rewards awaiting virtue. "Why," I said, "whatever was great in a short time, the whole period of 80 and 10 is surely but a little thing in comparison with eternity." "Say rather nothing," he replied. "And should an immortal being seriously think of this little space rather than of the whole?" "Of the whole, certainly. But why do you ask? "Are you not aware," I said, "that the soul of man is immortal and imperishable?" So what he says there, I think, is so profound, and it reminds me of a teaching I was just listening to in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of Liberation, in which they say, referring to the cycle of death and rebirth, that over and over and over again, we have lived these lifetimes building up lives of security, building money, striving for fame, power, ambition. But in each one of them, we've forgotten the source, we've forgotten to cultivate virtue, and that stuff that we've been accumulating, we've just lost over and over and over again. It's like we come born into earth, build up some lifetime as plant, animal, in the heavens as a god, here as a human, make all this money, raise a family. It's very important because, see, we are mired in this forgetfulness as we take birth. So seems real. It seems like this is it. This is the lifetime. But really, you've done millions, billions before. So each time you spend it not looking at your soul, building up all this stuff you think is really important, and then bam, you lose it all again. Then you take birth again, go through kindergarten, preschool, build up this new lifetime, bam, lose it again. And so repeat. And so that's what he's saying, like, get out of the rat race. And that relates directly to what Socrates is saying here, because he's saying, what kind of fool would only take into account their 60 or 70 years of life and only work towards that and not strive for virtue, when virtue has a benefit to the eternality of the soul? So, like, to grow on towards eternity, towards this immutable amount of time that your soul is in existence for, even if that means as an individual soul and not the super soul of God. Either way, the cultivation of this virtue is of such benefit. So it's really, really hard in daily life to look at our living from a perspective that's not centered around just this lifetime. I mean, what? That's almost how everybody thinks. 99% of people you ever met, at least in the West, taken out, because if you meet Buddhists or Hindus, they do look from a reincarnational perspective. But even if you do, it's very difficult to live your day-to-day life from that eternal perspective, with that patience and cultivation of virtue, with not looking towards greed or selfish ends of today.